Hey YouTube, it's ShryphonX here. Today we're going to be talking about Chainsaw Man Chapter 204. Like and subscribe for more content. Tatsuki Fujimoto's Chainsaw Man is setting the stage for the most significant event in the acclaimed manga's history. In a city on the brink of Armageddon, Denji and the War Devil team up to fight the Death Devil's minions. It's hard to imagine things getting any worse for humanity than they already are. However, Chainsaw Man 204, titled with one life, dramatically intensifies the situation in just a single chapter. As Death's devilish minions continue to wreak havoc on humanity, Yoru presents Denji with an ultimatum. She demands that he kill the humans within Fake Saw to secure victory in the battle, or remain a hero and lose the war. Denji's reaction is as unpredictable as his personality suggests at this point. Chainsaw Man 204 forces Denji to confront more than one difficult truth. The chapter is filled with surprises, including disconcerting romantic developments, the introduction of a fiery new devil, and a shocking cliffhanger that hints at more misery for Denji. Chainsaw Man Chapter 204 picks up where the previous chapter left off, with Denji and Yoru being lifted along with a building that the falling devil used her powers on. In response, Yoru does the unthinkable and transforms the entire building into a sword using the most absurd logic possible. Yoru's power allows her to turn anything she believes belongs to her into a weapon. As the building is destroyed, Yoru decides that it no longer belongs to anyone, and therefore, she can claim it as her own. Yoru has learned a thing or two from Asa, and it has only made her more powerful. Yoru believes she can beat the falling devil, which is a truly impressive feat. Falling is a primal devil, and Asa nearly died in an entire arc dedicated to it. With Asa out of the way and Yoru's power reaching astronomical levels, Yoru's confidence in her ability to kill a primal devil is a major problem for the Chainsaw Man universe. Yoru is almost unstoppable at this point. The only one who has been able to beat her recently was the Aging Devil, one of the strongest primal devils. Yoru seems to have gotten even stronger since then, and her power only grows the more fighting she engages in. The one thing she may be overlooking in her excitement about fighting the falling devil is that Famine is on its side. Up until now, Famine has been shown to be extremely weak and clueless about how to use her power effectively. Watching the falling devil in action could have very well inspired her, though, and Famine is still a horseman who shouldn't be underestimated. As Denji watches Yoru run off in the other direction, there's a sense that Denji might be completely fine with them going their separate ways. Denji clearly still cares enough about Yoru to save her from falling to her doom, but his means of dealing with Fake Saw Man indicate an irreconcilable difference in how he views things from how Yoru does. With Asa now fully suppressed beneath Yoru's personality, Denji's new change of heart could be the one thing that helps bring her back. The major cliffhanger in Chainsaw Man Chapter 203 revolves around Yoru's attempt to convince Denji that his aspiration to be a hero and save people is misguided. Denji's evident uncertainty about the matter at the time was concerning, but he swiftly dispels it to emphasize his personal growth. Just before she rushes to confront Falling, Yoru presents Denji with one final ultimatum. If you haven't changed by the time I return, I'll kill that fake Chainsaw Man my way. Denji seems to look down in contemplation before sighing and acknowledging, I guess I have no choice. In his subsequent decision, Denji demonstrates remarkable growth by putting everything he has in saving the people in Fake Saw's grasp. This is a stark contrast to the Denji who once saved a cat instead of human beings. Denji clearly asserts his heroic stance when he pleads with Fake Saw to liberate the people in exchange for his own life. Ultimately, Denji chooses the side of justice when he engages Fake Saw in one final confrontation. However, this time, Denji resorts to an even more absurd reason for fighting than ever before. As Fake Saw crosses the street to attack, Denji humorously exclaims to his opponent, "Don't cross on a red light." For someone like Denji, who has never followed the rules in his life, to attack Fake Saw in the name of a seemingly arbitrary crime, like jaywalking, is incredibly absurd. However, this act also highlights an intriguing aspect of justice that even Fake Saw, despite his constant insistence on fighting for justice, failed to comprehend. It's important to note that there's no universal principle of justice that inherently makes something right or wrong. Rather, it's the laws established and the willingness of individuals to adhere to them that determine morality. While murder and stealing are universally condemned, certain situations, such as times of war or starvation, may justify them. While murder and thievery are more easily labeled as evil than jaywalking, these acts share a common thread. It's the laws that make them truly unjust. In a lawless society where devils roam freely, like the one Denji finds himself in, the concept of justice becomes more challenging to argue for. Yet, by upholding the law against a jaywalker, Denji chooses to follow law and order regardless of any moral justification. This act truly signifies the genuine transformation in his character. Denji may appear as someone lacking intelligence and insight, but in reality, he's constantly engaged in deep thought and questioning of everything in his life. Despite his limited formal education, which contributes to his apparent foolishness, Fujimoto consistently emphasizes that Denji's overthinking extends to the minutest details of even the most insignificant matters whenever something significant occurs in his life. Denji's fight with Fake Saw ends in a tragic yet humorous twist. The humans he rescued treat him harshly. In the previous chapter, Yoru had warned Denji that saving humans was pointless because they wouldn't reciprocate. Despite this harsh reality, Denji still chose to help the people in Fake Saw's arms. However, after saving them, he's covered in the limbs and body parts of a person he couldn't save. This horrifying sight sends the survivors running in horror. It's even sadder for Denji when he tries to relate to them by saying, "Good thing it worked like a video game." Huh? This is a reference to his conversation with the group in the prior chapter. Yoru was technically right about how people would react to Denji's heroism. Despite this, Denji still chose to be a hero. This is a significant moment of growth for Denji. He's always wanted a logical reason for being a hero, or at least tried to convince himself that it was self-serving. However, upholding the law of jaywalking against Fake Saw didn't help him achieve his goal of sleeping with a woman. This is a major step in the right direction for Denji's character. It could make a big difference between whether he can stand up to Yoru or blindly follow her in his narrow-minded pursuit of sex. Denji's transformation from a sexual predator to a more mature character is evident in Chainsaw Man 204. Fujimoto demonstrates remarkable restraint by refraining from exploiting the newly nude survivors of Fake Saw's attack as fan service, which would have been a low-hanging fruit. Instead, the naked character's reactions seem more rooted in humor than sexuality, highlighting the futility of arguments against Chainsaw Man's fan service, such as death skirt lifting in Chapter 198, which are often misguided or completely miss the point. While the nudity of Fake Saw survivors is revealing, the most significant revelation in Chainsaw Man 204 is the introduction of the Fire Devil. In Chainsaw Man Chapter 204, titled With One Life, Denji undergoes remarkable growth. However, the true test of his genuine transformation lies in his reaction to the inevitable tragedy when he recognizes the person's face in the series' next chapter. This revelation echoes the last time he encountered the decapitated head of someone he cared about, leading to his transformation into Black Chainsaw Man. Niuta and Aki, among others, have been repeatedly turning into Denji's worst enemies, and he has been forced to kill them, often without even realizing it until it's too late. Chainsaw Man 204 marks another significant milestone chapter in Fujimoto's masterpiece, showcasing the enduring brilliance of shonen manga. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe for more content. ShryphonX out.